Okay guys, so this is just a quick video about how I did this visual that maybe some of you saw posted, and this is a visual that I did, and I got this data from Wikipedia, and it is from the fastest Nürburgring times, and it's from the Nordschleife track, and these are the top times that have been ever recorded for production or street legal cars on that track. And so they are between 6.5 and 7.2 seconds. And you can see at the very top here, the best so far has been the Mercedes AMG 1. And then we can go all the way through this and you can see all the different drivers and cars and things. And what I wanted to do was just give a very simple graphic, and it was actually much more difficult to create this than I thought it was going to be, mostly because of the formatting of the data and everything, and I had to change a bunch of things around. But if you guys wanted to get a little more detail on this graphic, I thought I could show it today. And so as you can see down the left hand side here, we've got our minutes, 6.5 to 7.5, which is a converted time. You can see the real times by looking at the top, or the tooltip here, which you can see for this one is 644 and 8/48 one thousandths of a second. And along the bottom here, we've got the vehicle, and I included the rank and the year of the track run that the car ran on the track, and when it was recorded. And so as you can see, this is actually in Power BI. I used Power BI as the final step from my graph, but I actually did a lot of the intermediate steps using different tech. And so where I originally got the data from was from the web page here, which is on Wikipedia. Many thanks to those who put this together. And so this has got information about the track, and I will post this link in the description as well. And this first table here, you can see lap times for production, street legal, and they have all of their times here, which is really awesome. And so I took this data and I basically did a Control U here, and I looked at the HTML, and then I scrolled down to where the table started, and I basically copied the table. Where is it? It's down here a ways. So I basically copied the table that was there. Here it is. So it starts here, this table, and you can see this is the list of all the cars if I look at the source from that. And then I just basically pasted that into Notepad++, and I added my own HTML because I was gonna work with this in Microsoft Access, and so what I did was I just pasted my own HTML header on there, and then at the very end of the document I just pasted the end of the body and that, so that the table would be an actual HTML document. And then since it was at that point, then I was able to go into Access, and I could actually use external data, and I could get it from a file using HTML document, and that provided a really nice table originally, which I imported into this table here, and I let Access add its own ID to it, it was really great because it provided all of the nice character types and things like that were included, rather than doing another kind of import. When I did try it in Excel, I tried pasting in Excel, but Excel completely messed up all the names and everything, and it also changed the source data, which is something that as a quick step, it's almost always better to use this kind of data in a real database where data types are defined and things like that. Anyway, so I pasted it in there, and I added some fields to the end of the table, and I updated those using various little functions that I created. One of them was to set the rank. I just went through and did a rank on each row according to the time, and then I had a little function to actually create the time from the time string that was in there. And one of the things that I noticed was that actually the list here, and I will drop a note to the owners of this page or the authors of this page, because you can see here, if I go down to the 28th, I think it's the 28th row, and I believe it's 713, yeah, so you can see here the Corvette is ranked ahead of the Porsche 918 Spyder, and actually these need to be switched around unless this is a typo. So I think it could be a typo. We don't know. Maybe when they keyed it in, this might have had some, maybe it was a 0.95 or something, and they wanted to rank it that way. But they could fix this if it's not right. But I switched it in my ranking because I noticed that when I looked at the graphic for the Corvette, I did see that these were out of order, and the Spyder was actually behind the Corvette. And so when I did the conversion and everything, and then I re-ranked it, I decided to change the ranking. So that could be wrong depending on if that was a typo or not, but we don't actually know. So going back to what I did there, so I had this this table as I mentioned, and what I did was the tables that I added were a year table, a minutes and seconds, which I ended up not using, and then I split out the make from the description of the car or the vehicle. So I chose the first word of each one, and that seemed to provide the make for every single car that was in there, and I used a little function for that, and then I split the time, or I put the time, I converted the time into a decimal, and then I did that rank as I mentioned before. And I will put these up on my downloads page so you guys can take a look. And so I filled that table, and then I imported it into Power BI, and then I used the column chart for this graphic, and that's something that you guys could try too. There is another table for the non-production or race car time, so if one of you guys wanted to post that, that could be cool too. Or if you'd like me to do it, make sure to put it in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys subscribe to my channel.